Okay, so I do have to label this as a test stream for the ENGL Fireball 100. I'm probably going to be doing this over the coming months, probably on weekends, maybe some random times, just to figure out the whole live streaming thing. Personally, I think it's really like a really good way to get to know amps a little better, especially maybe if you're looking to purchase them. This way, it's a little more interactive rather than me, messing around with making my own videos and stuff like that with settings that only I like. I'll still do those, obviously, but I think it's a little easier if there's more options and it's a little more interactive. So this is just a test. I highly doubt anyone's really going to show up. If you do, that's awesome. I'll interact with you in the chat and everything. If you want me to change guitars, just let me know. If you want me to try different settings, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Yeah, so I'm still trying to get things rolling here. It is an absolute beast, absolutely. So I'll start out with the I'll start out with the Les Paul Classic here. Then I'll probably switch some settings and do some things. So yeah, here we go. I think this is drop B, I believe. Also like to note that I'm a notorious noodler, so you'll probably hear a whole bunch of just randomly. Alright, so I got the mid boost function on, so I'll switch that out. So you can kind of hear it. Should also note that there's a ton of low end on the Fireball here, so I probably have to watch myself here with it, so I'll cut it out a little. A little bit more scooped. Kind of sounds like it completely disappeared. You're absolutely correct. I cut my mic off here. You're absolutely correct. The bottom switch does affect both channels. The bright switch only works with the clean channel. Nice. I've wanted to actually the EVH Stealth. I can never find them in my local area here in Edmonton. It's a great amp. I have actually still have Kevin's 5153, the 50 watt here, but I really wanted to grab a Stealth. I think that's the 50 watts. Definitely a great amp, but I need a little more. I find with it, and the Stealth I believe has the presence and resonance controls, whereas it's only presence control I think on the 100 HD. Okay, so here's bottom switch out. So it's a little more deadly, I would say, because I did have the bottom switch in because I was playing clean with it just before, so this is with it in. Take that sucker off. That is exactly what I was thinking. Are you saying that the Fireball 100 is better than the Stealth? I haven't really tried it myself, so I mean it could be. It could be. I bought the Fireball here last year, I think around this time, and I just bought it on a whim just because I wanted to try another ENGL amp. Because again, they're not readily available in a whole bunch of places, at least out here in Edmonton. And it really has blown me. I haven't really used my Invader 150 too often. So nice, the EL3450. Well, I have the 6L6, or Kevin has the 6L6. I haven't sent it out to him yet. take the gain back a little. I don't know, I think I might grab another guitar. Probably grab another Les Paul. So just give me one sec. I would agree with that. What's going on there? I would agree with that. Although I haven't played the Stealth, I think that's just one thing that a lot of people do find with the 5153 series. That was one of the reasons why I sold mine to Kevin, the other guy on the channel, and I haven't sent it out to him. But he hasn't really said like, hey, I really need that. That was just one feeling that I had with it. And like any 5153 series that I've tried, it seems like, you know, it does high gain really well, and you can get some really nice rock tones out of it and everything, but it doesn't seem as organic as it should. But again, I can't really say too much as I don't own the Stealth, and it is really interesting to me. Yeah, synthetic. So I've got a Gibson Les Paul Standard 50s here. It's got the AAA top, so yeah, you can find them still. And we're in drop C sharp. One thing I find with the Fireball too is it's quite easy to get a fizzy sound, but you can find a lot of different sweet spots for the treble as well. So if I'm cranking that treble, tons of fizz. Definitely taking that away. built-in gate on the the Fireball here, it's definitely great. It's awesome when you have two with an amp that has a noise gate and you have a noise gate as well, and you can engage both of them, so you can kind of get a little bit sharper attack. Yeah, that's one thing with both of the ENGL amps that I have. It has the noise gate built in, but I usually am running two. Not right now, but it's nice to run two. In comparison to the Rectifier, you can get the buzzing bees a lot easier with the Rectifier. See, it works. I find I love and I hate my dual Rectifier. Just because that buzzing bee sound, sometimes it works and then sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes you want it to work when it doesn't work, if that makes any sense. But not as deadly, I guess you would say, with the Fireball. There's a lot more sweet spots than on a dual Rectifier. Also do a lot of open chords when I don't know what to do. I would kill, I think, to have an Uber shell. I have tried. There was someone that had one like 3 years ago and just sold it, and really bugged me that I was not able to get it in time. Soldano as well. That's a great choice. They're never here. I almost actually ordered the Savage last year, but I got two limited edition Fender guitars, and the Fireball basically. And that Mark 7, there needs to be a lot more information on that amp because it just seemed like to me that the announcement that they made just didn't give a lot of information and just acted as if there was hype rather than doing a lot more with it and explaining a whole bunch of reasons as to why things are missing from the previous one. I'll definitely be looking into a Mark 7 though. And as far as mid boost, it really depends. I find for me personally, I have it on a lot more often than I don't. But I find like it's such a great amp for high gain that it's just you don't always have to have it. It seems like you can find something a lot easier with the Fireball than a lot of other amps. A lot of other amps there's just spots where it seems like there's dead spots. I don't think so with this one. I don't. I have a Mark IIB, and a Mark IV Rev B and a Mark V, but I haven't been able to find a 2C Plus or a 3. Not quite sure how quickly I would sell my left nut if one showed up. That's really cool. That's really cool with a Mark III. Easiest way I learned to play guitar on a left-handed guitar when my friend was asleep. So he would lay his guitar up against the wall, and while he was asleep on a sleepover, I would play around with it, and I would just kind of mimic what he did. But I went to tab, and I never really learned to play to read music, just because once I got the general idea, I would just kind of play by ear. But tabs are definitely the way to go. I'm glad you like the live setup. It's going to be changing once I get a few things. I'm still working out a whole bunch of bugs. The mid boost is a lead boost. That's a great idea. I never thought about that. Because again, you can get tones out the ass with this amp, and using it as a lead boost is a great idea. I think what I'll do, I'll stick with this guitar for now, but I'll throw a boost on, and I'll probably put a noise gate on. I have the, what one do I have? I have the smart gate, so I'll probably throw that on just so I can bring the low end up a little more, and it gives you a little more control with the boost, and probably still cut the gain. I will, guaranteed, bump the camera, though. All right. You can hear that sizzle right there. Yeah, the VHT, I still don't know how I ended up with that amp. I mean, I ended up trading a limited edition Paul Reed Smith for it, a custom 22, and like that was a $4,000 trade or $4,400 trade basically, and I love the fact that I was able to get it. But there's a few amps, like it's all down to preference, right? But there's a few amps that that can kind of hold their own with it. But I would tend to agree with you there. The Fireball did really well against it. Yeah, a Mark III at $2,000. That would be US as well. So just with these price increases is kind of crazy. Yeah, they do sound mean as F. That would be $15,000 is more than likely the price you would end up paying for the 2C Plus. Again, left nut. The riffs that I get when I play, that's just like I've been playing for about 30 years now, and I get bored really easy. It's the kind of person I am, so I just come up with them. I think they're all right. Usually, whatever makes me kind of smile and flex a little bit when I'm playing, that's usually what I go for. I find that like I always get a lot of comments about like crazy riffs and stuff like that. I always find my riffs, they're kind of cyclical. So like 3 videos will sound somewhat similar in riffs, and then I'll kind of change it up from there. This is, wow, what pickups are in these? Is this the Burstbuckers 2 and 3? It's either 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, I believe, in the standard 50s here. I don't have a guitar with EMGs. I used to love them, and then I don't know. It's just I can't do EMGs anymore. It's just some sort of weird thing in my brain. I don't know if I just was deafening everybody's ears with that. Yeah, the burst buckers are vintage, more vintage style. They're dialed back, which is why I like them. So there's not like the standard 60s. There's a lot more high end to those pickups. They're a lot hotter, which I prefer. Something not as hot. That's what I tend to go with a lot of times. Just I don't know if it's just I get to increase the gain ever so slightly. But yeah, that's kind of what I like there. I don't have any active pickups anymore. I had Fishman Fluence. What else did I add? I had the Seymour Duncan Blackouts, and I think like 10 guitars with the MGs in it, if not more. I don't know. I guess I'm older now, and I don't know. It's not as appealing to me to play anymore. I understand their appeal for sure, but they're just not me anymore. No, when I do recording, I always kind of end up doing leads, and I'll do like a little bit of lead work for other people here and there. But I find when like I'm using 10 to 46 gauge strings, so I find the sloppiness actually gives me a little more attitude, I guess you would say. I would make more faces when I'm playing, so I don't usually switch from 10 to 46 gauge strings. I think I'll switch guitars again. I don't know if there's any guitars that I own that you know that I own that you want to see. We can do that there. I'll grab the standard 60s actually, so you can kind of hear the difference. No, all of the pickups that I have are basically stock with the guitar. Otherwise, like basically any guitar that I've changed any pickups in that I own now, they're Gibson guitars, and if I've switched them, it's because I've switched them to other Gibson pickups because the ones that were included I didn't like. I know it's a really boring answer. And it really should have some more like modern type guitars and everything, but I don't know. I'm at that point where like it's like 46 or 47 guitars, and it's crappy to have a whole bunch of stuff and not a whole bunch of different things, because I have a lot of Gibson and Fenders and stuff. And Gretches. odd tuning thing. I'm only going to do this once or twice. If I were recording, I'd be tugging on the strings multiple times. So you can see right away I had to adjust the volume because of the pickups used in the guitar. They're definitely a lot louder. Gain to noon? It's going to get muddy, though. Ooh. The deluxe strat against the 40th anniversary. There's a little more versatility in the deluxe. All right, so we're going to crank the gain to noon, and I'm going to get younger. I'm also boosted, just so you know. Yes, I do prefer the beefy Les Paul necks. I find that my favor the baseball bat, the medium C, and then the slim taper. But I just feel a lot more at home with a baseball bat in my hand. That sounds weird. I have not tested the Grand Meister. I know that like I was selling off my non-US guitars last year, and I got quite a few offers for trade for the Grandmeister. But I don't know, with the Triumph Mark II, I kind of would. I'd like a Warp. What is it called? The Warp X. I wouldn't mind a Warp X, and I wouldn't mind a Mark III Triumph. But the Triumph just seems to cover so much when it comes to the Hughes and Kettner. All right. So I'll just do a little bit of because again I'm boosted, so my gain is down. But I'll probably take the boost off as well after a little bit. But I'll just kind of show you what I mean there with like clarity and then muddying up everything with the gain being too high, with or without false teeth. I think we'll bump the camera once again. I'll take the boost off, and I'll kind of do the same thing, because hopefully you could hear it over like a live stream or whatever. It's better to do in person, obviously. But like the moment that you start bringing that gain up too high, it just muddies a lot of things, and there's a lot of like a lack of clarity. But I'll take the boost off. That's high quality right there. I'm using a mic stand to hold a webcam to to show the amp. I could spend like $14 and get just a tripod, but I don't know. Okay, so this is with the boost off. The boost I'm using, I should have a signal chain in the description, but the boost I'm using is just an Ibanez TS9. So yeah, I just find with a lot of amps, I'll probably usually keep it around like 11 o'clock for the gain. But with both of the ENGLs that I own, they just have so much gain built in. Even when you're not boosted, I do generally keep it a little lower, just for a little more definition. I had the Fishman Fluence Moderns. I had I think in a 6-string and in a 7-string, and they were fantastic. They were great. I think I have a few videos that you can go back and look at. I know there's one, I think it's called like What I Did to My Ibanez RG7 something or whatever the number was. And yeah, that it sounded fantastic. And I really wanted to get rid of, I wanted to kind of clean up the clutter, and it kind of hurt a little getting rid of it. Just because the Fluence Moderns were just fantastic. I'm going to switch guitars again, only because I need to lower my pickup here. The pole piece is a little too high. So if I'm palm muting, you might hear a little bit of a little bit. So I'm going to switch guitars again. And yeah, we'll continue on. I might actually start a poll too, because that's something you can do. That's a great question. You know what? I'll grab a strat and probably piss a few people off. Why are you using a fireball with a strat? But just to show you that how it comes with how it works with the cleans. So one thing I find with the fireball and cleans, like a lot of high gain amps, when it comes to the cleans, they can get good cleans, but I find it's a really weird balance of the gain, like the clean gain and the volume. And yeah, it can get a little weird. Some amps are just all around great. And some amps, like you can tell where the focus is on that amp and where, you know, like they kind of left out on some stuff with the clean. Gotta bump the mic again because if I want to do clean, I don't want the noise gate on. I kind of like the convenience of my odd mic stand as a tripod for that little webcam. So I'll also turn everything off, like the bright switch and the bottom switch, so. Yeah, my chair is ridiculous and it is uncomfortable. But I spent so much on guitars, and I keep bumping the mic stand here, on guitars, and I have to buy. I just got a new MacBook Pro, and I have to get a Mac Studio, and like there's a lot of things that I have to upgrade, and my rear end is just going to pay for it because of A, my wallet, and B, because this is an old chair. It's an old faithful, but it is not comfortable at all. I wish I had the George Costanza wallet. No, mine cracked a while ago. No, actually, my daughter bought me. I have like that giant long wallet, and then I have like that little card holder. So that's the wallet that I have. But the padding on this chair is just ridiculous. I'm going to try and get it into a little bit of breakup territory. So, like, see if I can kind of crank the clean gain. But again, like I said, a lot of the focus, or the main focus on this amp was high gain. So it's going to be a little different. And I don't really like the balance between the clean gain and the clean channel volume is different. Engage the bright switch. Hopefully get a little more life. I'll also turn on the bottom switch. That's a good question. The cleans, I can say at least on the 5153 series, they're surprising. A lot of people will just say because they're made by Fender, or it's like in partnership with Fender, that they now have excellent cleans, but find they're a little dull. I don't know if that's different on the Stealth, as there's set resonance controls at least on that, so it'll give you a little more bite and a little more chunk. The secret though with metal tones on a Strat is this button right here, or this control right here. Dial the tone back. A lot of the American standards, like the older standards, had this little like halfway switch, or they also had like a switch where it would kind of take the tone out of the circuit completely. But some of them had this halfway switch, so like when you turn the tone knob, it'll like kind of click for a second when it's halfway. So let's put it back on some high gain. That's with it at the halfway point. Let's put the tone all the way back. So this is what most people would, like if they're trying a metal sound on a Strat, this is what you would generally hear. So that's really the big secret with Strats and metal. I don't like modelers. I don't know if that's a grandpa thing or what. I've just always like even when it comes to like I'm miking my amps. So in like the room that you see here, or like in videos and stuff like that, I'll get questions like, well, like the whole like, hey, where's your cabinet? Aha, you must be using like an impulse response or whatever. Like I have it's a 10 by 12 room that's got treatment, like you can probably see on the wall behind me here, um, all over the room. And I've got moving blankets stuffed in the window so the neighbors aren't as hateful towards me, I guess you would say. So I can crank things when I want to. It's a Saturday at noon right now where I am, so it's I'm not keeping it too loud. But when I generally do like recordings and stuff like that, the volume is up a lot higher. So yeah, I tend to stick away from impulse responses and like the axe effects and stuff like that. They have their place. It's just not for me. It just seems as though you would be lacking some feel. And the example that I always give is Metallica, and that's oddly enough the example that I'm always presented with. Yeah, Metallica uses axe effects now, but have you been to a Metallica concert since they switched? Because it's an excellent experience, an excellent concert, but man, you can hear that they're using modelers. Like even on their latest album, which took me a while to get used to, they're not using tube amps. They are not using tube amps, which is hard to hear. Yes, I am using real 4x12 cabinets. And the mic that I'm using on it is a Neumann TLM 107. I like having it slightly off axis, about I think it's 11 to 12 inches away. That way you're not really getting that proximity effect, and there's a little more openness to it. Sometimes if I really want to crank things to get a little bit more feel, sometimes I'll move it back like 17 inches or so. But yeah, I'm like if you look in the description, you'll see it's a Mesa Boogie standard, which I think is the oversized. It's definitely a bigger cabinet, so it's the standard slant cabinet, so the standard oversized cabinet. I generally find on that one the best position for the speaker I have on that one is the top right. And again, that's 11 inches off and off axis. I have a Marshall 4x12, and there's a Mesa slant 2x12, like a vertical slant 2x12 in there, which is again Kevin's, but he doesn't. He is running through an aux box, but that's because of his kids. I was smart, and my daughter kind of fell asleep when she was a little girl to me playing loud guitar in a different room, so she's not bothered by loud sounds when she's trying to sleep and stuff like that. Okay. I think we're starting to get tired of the Strat for this amp. I'll never get tired of this Strat or any of my Strats. So I'll grab another guitar. But you know what? Because I'm still learning here. Let's start a poll. So I think you have to end a poll. There you go. So I'll grab another guitar. And, you know, if you want to, I don't know, I'm still learning this stuff, so you can vote for the guitar after that if you want. Or you can just ignore the fact that there's a poll, and I'll keep going. We got a flying V going on here. So this is the Melody Maker, Flying V. I still have one more video left to do, and I'm going to switch this over to a classic 57. And yeah. This thing is weird looking, and everyone thinks it's short scale, but it's not. And it's a rocker. I like this guitar a lot, actually. You know, I've seen a few of the Stay Metal Ray Guys videos. They're cool. I find that he does more news. I mean, that could be, like, I haven't watched in a really long time, but I find that he does more news than actual playing, and I find it weird. Like, I do really messed up faces, but it's a little... I look away. Look away when I'm playing, because I make really weird faces. There's honestly, for me, I know Kevin watches, like the other guy on the channel, he watches a lot of guitar videos and stuff like that. I generally, like, I work a lot, so I'm pretty busy. So there's not like a whole bunch of YouTubers that I really watch, like on the regular or anything like that. Usually if I see there's a cool guitar that I might buy, I'll usually just search the guitars. And that's a really good question. Probably a little out of tune, let's say. I haven't used this in, I think, 2 weeks, so right now, it's definitely going to be out of tune as I'm tugging the strings. Oh no, that's not bad mouthing. Great. He seems like a great player for sure. ringing. These are also these are Duncan designed. It's like HB102 or HB103s, if you are curious. So the cabinet that I'm using right now is the Mesa Rectifier Oversized Standard Slant cabinet. So again, you'll see that if you look in the description. There's just a little more low end to it than the Marshall. So I do usually use the Mesa. However, I'm also pretty lazy, and I only have one TLM 107, so I tend to use the Mesa more than the Marshall because I'm too lazy to go and switch things over. Because, like I said there earlier, I should turn that down. Like I said earlier, I use the top right speaker because that's the best one on that particular cabinet. And I think the Marshall, the way I tested it, was either top left, or was it top left or bottom left? I haven't used it in a while. So I'd have to do a little bit of play testing with moving the mic around and getting the position just correct for it. So right now I'm using the Mesa. This one here has a maple body with a mahogany neck. So it gets a little odd when it comes to balancing. I find single tracked because it seems like there's a little too much high end just because of the maple body. And it's kind of hard to dial that fizz to the correct point, I find. So I'm going to try that mid boost again. That ring is getting a little annoying. I think it's actually the, I don't know if it's the bridge, actually. It shouldn't be. I don't think it's the pickup. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm definitely not bad-mouthing the guy. He's definitely a great player. I have majorly weird faces. You watch my videos, I get majorly weird faces. And I end every video with doing something weird or like doing this because it's an inside joke to me. So, yeah, no. I don't think there's any YouTubers I like dislike or like hate or whatever. Okay, so we'll go with the Flying V98. And move back a little. I will have to tune. This will be in standard tuning. I do have to say, after years of not having Paul Reed Smiths and after years of owning them, that's one thing I miss. Their wood drying process is ridiculous. So if your room gets a little cold and you don't play your guitars for a little bit, there's no movement in the neck. One of my first real guitars was the Ibanez, what was it, Pro Rocker or Pro Series 1600. It was weird because it was the Pro Series 1600, but the model was like the PR 1600, or it might be backwards. So that was the Rhodes style Ibanez V, and I just wanted it because I wanted to be Kirk Hammett. Yeah, so I got used to sitting with it. So I find it comfortable playing this way. And it's great when you're doing leads. You do have a lot more access with it, but yeah, it's an acquired taste. Yeah, I don't miss that Custom 22. When I said I was going to get rid of it, the other guy in the channel, Kevin, was pissed. He was so upset with me, just because a lot of people knew me for that guitar for some reason, because it looked freaking awesome. That's why, Ryan. But I have to try their new style, like the McCarty style that they have, where it has like the tune-o-matic and the stop bar. Those wraparounds, it's just it just felt dull in my hands after a while, and it was really hard going from a Gibson Les Paul to that Custom 22. And I kept it for like a year or two longer than I should have, and I kept it for the looks, which is really the wrong thing to do. It's just I wasn't enjoying playing it. I really enjoyed the way it looked, but I wasn't enjoying playing it. So an original Jackson Rhodes. That's nice. Color is it? All right. Ah, that sounds great. This is what is this? 500T pickup? see what the color of this guitar is. 86 cream white. That's really cool. $900 in 86. Well, that's all right. That's pretty good, I would say. Yeah, I have the 500T and either 3 or 4 guitars. My Les Paul Custom, everyone always asks what's in the bridge, and it's a 500T. This V here is, yeah, mahogany body and mahogany neck. Wrong volume knob. Mahogany body, mahogany neck. Same with the other Flying V that I have. The one that I just played, the Melody Maker, is maple body, mahogany neck, which I always found weird. I would absolutely love a gold top. Was it the 50s? Yeah, the standard 50s with the P90s. That I would love to have that. But I always find when it comes to getting a guitar with P90s in it, that looks really cool and I know will play cool or play really well. I always have that cognitive dissonance going like, do I want it with P90s or should I get it with the humbuckers in it? And yeah, I don't see them very often, but I would not mind, what is it, like a 54 or whatever, or R4, or is it R6? The one with the, I think it's an R4, with the P90s and the wraparound bridge. That would be awesome. The compensated wraparound. Okay. I don't think I have any. No, I don't have any Tim Shaw pickups. Yeah, this it's got like a denser mahogany in it than the Les Pauls. It's really weird. If you're a Tone Woods guy, I'm wearing a tinfoil hat right now. Don't worry. But yeah, it's got a denser mahogany to it. So this versus like the Explorer that I have, this sounds woodier versus any of the Les Pauls. I think this has a little more woodier tone to it. It's a little different with my other Flying V because that one's got a thinner body. It's a 70s style. So. Cut the bass. Have I played any of the Seymour Duncan Slash signatures? No, I haven't. They're pretty hot though, aren't they? I can't remember. I thought they were. I know when I bought my standard 60s, one of the options was getting a Slash signature. Because there was one that looked really nice. I want to say Anaconda Burst. But the standard 60s was just... that was the guitar. Slash has new pickups. Nifty. Might switch guitars soon. think I'll switch to an Explorer. I might do an Explorer and then switch over to my Les Paul Custom. We'll see where we are from there. If there's any like settings or anything you want me to test out, because I know some people out there are looking to get this amp. So if there's any settings you want me to try, like just let me know and I'll give her a shot. I almost put this in classical position. Yeah, the 2 and the 3 are nice in this. I like like I said a little earlier, I like them a little less of a hot pickup. That would be my preference. Not that hotter pickups are bad. I just gravitate towards them a little more. You can get, it's expensive to get them a Gibson one with Carina. I don't know if they make the Epiphone ones with Carina. They did a while ago, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. They were making them with Carina, like some of the originals. But I think since then, like it's, I don't know, 8,000 minimum. Probably a heck of a lot more to get Karina. Slash 2.0. That's one weird thing with the Slash guitars. Well, with me and Les Pauls, I guess you would say. Just there's no pick guard on it, and I hate drilling into guitars. So I'd have to add a pick guard to it, and then I think the world would hate me for putting a pick guard on a non-pick guarded guitar. It's the same thing with the Greenie, which I'm a little disappointed in. Because it has the what is it? It doesn't have gloss. It's just the regular not the regular finish. What am I trying to say here? The matted nitro. What's that called? Satin. So it has the satin, and it's a little off-putting to me because of it, because of the price. And I would think that more people would want gloss nitro on it, but yeah, Kirk Hammett's Greenie. Down the line, it was Kirk Hammett's Greenie, or it is Kirk Hammett's Greenie. Like the pickups are supposed to be pretty decent in them, and they're like the middle position because of the out of phase neck, or the out of phase position that you get with the neck in the bridge. It's definitely you not only really get it in that guitar, but that guitar is known for it. And it has the baseball bat neck, I believe. But it also doesn't have the pick guard, and I would throw a pick guard on there like an idiot, and someone would hit me with a bus. Yeah, I think who's opening for Metallica in Edmonton next year? Is it Pantera? I haven't seen any of the new Pantera stuff since like the first show, I think, and I don't know if I've actually heard anything other than camera audio. Sure, it's a good time. It's $4,200 or $4,300 Canadian, as I'm Canadian, eh? So yeah, like I'd honestly, if I were getting one of those, I'd probably go with a Les Paul Modern just to see what it's like, see what all the I'd like to say fuss is all about, but no one ever talks about the Les Paul Modern. But I'd like to try out the asymmetrical neck. But to be honest, I'd probably look for like an older Les Paul, as they're just a little more interesting to me. Yeah, it is ridiculous. The prices have gone up everywhere with everything. And it seems like anytime a guitar's price goes up, it goes up by $200 rather than like, you know, 50 or 100. I remember 2 years ago, Canadian, like a Les Paul Studio or an SG Standard was like $1,800 or like I think it was $1,800. And then all of a sudden it was $1,900. Then it was like $2,100. Then it was just buy used at that point. Like, that's crazy. And the worst thing was when I started getting more into Fender guitars, the prices went up like crazy. Like I don't even bother looking at them anymore because they just go up and go up and go up and go up. But a good hint for everybody, if you're looking at like say a Gibson guitar or anything like that, I don't think this is just Canada, but I think it's everywhere else. But if you're looking at like a Gibson guitar, like if you're looking for a standard or something like that, look at the limited editions rather than the regular ones, because the limited editions don't get price increases. So when I bought that AAA Flame Les Paul Standard 50s, it was actually like $400 or $500 cheaper than buying a regular one. And originally it was like $600 or $800 more expensive a year and a half prior to that. So yeah, like when they update their price lists, they don't usually update the limited editions. They update everything else. Yeah, I have to pay out the George Costanza wallet. It is ridiculous. Sometimes there's like little breaks here and there where they have fixed pricing where it's not as crazy. I'm gonna try this actually back on the clean channel with a little bit of more gain on the clean. I think for me, a Les Paul standard, when I was in, I'm in the neck pickup, when I was in high school, I think it was like 2000. But yeah, it was around that. Like high school for me was late 90s. I have an important text. It's in regards to supper. Yeah, so I mean 750 would be nice. But when I was in high school, the prices were about the same as they are now, like the price differences. So the Canadian dollar was not the greatest back then. And then there was this really nice nice balance where it was what I think like $1,200, like 2007 or so. It was like $1,200 for like a Les Paul Studio, and like an SG Standard and an Explorer and Flying V's. So when that was happening, I had Les Paul Studio, a Firebird Studio, 2 Flying V's, 2 Explorers, an SG Standard, and the Gibson Acoustic. That was all within like, I think 6 months. Age just means that you've seen a lot more guitars in your lifetime. There's more potential. And yes, Kijiji Junkie over Long and McQuaid. Long and McQuaid's. Long and McQuaid, I just don't like them anymore. I do have to say, if you're in Canada, I highly recommend taking a look at Stang guitars. They're pretty good with their stuff, and their pricing's pretty good. They usually get quite a few things. It's all good, man, if you gotta go. This is just a test stream, so it's not like... Thanks for showing up, at least. And sticking around. This is quite a while. I might actually end things. I'm gonna grab... how often do I do these live? I don't know. This is the second time I've ever done it. So I know I'm gonna be doing one... with the other guy on the channel on Monday. I might do one tomorrow, just because it's a long weekend here. I might do one tomorrow and then one Monday, but I know for sure I'm going to be doing the dual rectifier on Monday, because I want to try out some of his settings that he's always talked about. So anyway, I'm going to grab my Les Paul Custom, and I will probably end on the Custom. And whether there's people in here or not, it's all good, because it's just, like I said, just a test. Okay. Yeah, I might do one of these tomorrow. I'm not sure if anyone is still in here. If there's any guitar or any amps that you might want to see that I own, just let me know in the chat. And we'll see. I might, not sure what I'll do tomorrow. Oh, Ryan. So we're still on the clean. This is the clean with the clean gain up, so I'll turn it down. Nope. No load box. So I have my cabinets in another room, and it's a treated room. And for the benefit of my neighbors, I've stuffed 2 moving blankets in the window. So but I do have the, just because it's a long weekend Saturday, I don't have the volume cranked. So I have my my microphone preamp a little louder than I normally do to account for that. Just because it's a long weekend, family might be over and stuff like that. Type of a clean sound on a Les Paul Custom. Alright, I'll put it back on the gain channel. I'll play for a little bit more, a couple more minutes, and then I will bid anyone else that might be in here a good day. So again, this is not boosted. And the mid boost isn't on either. And then I'll switch. All right. So I think actually I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks for anyone that's... Again, this is just a test. If I don't know if it's going to be next weekend or the weekend after. I'm going to be getting 2 new displays, and I'll probably be hanging up the old iMac because it's 10 years old and it needs to be, you know, put somewhere. So I'll probably move where I have the camera and hopefully change things up a little more. I'll be able to get a little more lighting on myself because where I have it right now, I don't really have any good lighting areas. So again, thanks very much for watching. Sticking through. This is what, 2 hours and something. So again, I might do one tomorrow. I'm not sure what amp, but for sure I want to do one on Monday, and that will be the dual rectifier. So that's really all I have to say. And thank you guys for watching.